because sometimes having crafty friends is the best thing ever. Now so you can actually see it because I'm not pulling my camera down. Are you ready? Are you ready? You set your drink on there and it goes, ah! It's the best. I might be 5 years old today. It's still the best. Anyways, thanks to Miss Jessica Squirrel for making my little screaming turtle come true. I now have a nice solid turtle for my beverage on my craft desk. He's the best. Anyways, you know, now I'll get started on my card things. Hello, Jaime from Inky&Scrappy, back with my Let's Start Stamping series. I think this is number 42, maybe 43. I don't know. We're up in the 40s. Alrighty, so for this one, I'm bringing in Whimsy Stamps Early Birds stamp set. I think I decided on going with this one because I wanted to do a happy birthday to my well-seasoned friend for this one. There's a lot of different options on this one, but that's where I'm going. I have my stamp already off the thing. I may have already stamped this out and then, you know, didn't get around to coloring it because that's how I tend to roll. So I'm just going to pick that up with my stamp platform on this one, and I'm going to color it with my Ohuhus today. So I'm going to stamp with Lawn Fawn's Jet Black Premium Ink Pad. It's alcohol marker friendly. I will say if you are using some super like light colors when you're coloring, you might want to heat set. The Hero Arts one, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ever heat set your ink for alcohol marker coloring. I usually don't heat set. I usually don't worry about it. I just know with the Hero, for some odd reason, my new ink pad is having issues. So, and it could just be that, you know, it's definitely the, how do I put this? The lighter colors have more like alcohol solution in them, and so they tend to be a little bit harder on your base. I don't know how to explain that one. Also, Ohuhu emailed me yesterday or the day before, and they're going to be going up on their prices on May 5th, 2025 to, you know, with the tariff stuff. So I don't know how long it's going to last, if they're going to come back down. They're, you know, so if you're ordering from them, they're going to bump up the rewards for the US for right now, and, you know, but so if you're looking at anything, order it. There's not a whole lot left on their site. That's the only bad part. There were some sets on Amazon yet, so, you know, check that out if you're interested. Anyways, I'm going to start with this one. I decided to go with browns on my bird. I did find a new mix from the ones that I'd kind of been using. So I'm going to go with E644 is my darkest tone today. E558 is my second darkest. Then I have an E3767 and E189 for my two lighter tones. So we'll see how this one works. I'm always constantly, you know, playing with marker colors and trying to find sometimes better blends or more. Usually it's just more blends though. So I haven't colored this one yet, so, you know, you're coming along with me on this one today. This stamp set just reminds me of, oh, I don't know, all of my baby chicks. So if you follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing baby chick reels. They're always so fun. So I did move them outside. It's Minnesota, so it's so unseasonably unpredictable because it's spring, right? We could be getting snow tomorrow. I don't think so. I think we're supposed to actually be nice. Aside from rain, we're supposed to be, temperature-wise, pretty nice. I think we have one more night in the 30s, and then we're supposed to be good to roll. I hope. Some of us are not big fans of cold weather. Me, I am not big fans of cold weather. At least it's not snowing, right? Okay. So I put them out in the coop and they were not having it. They were like, it's cold outside yet, lady. I'm not prepared for this. And so I bought them another heater lamp thing for their coop that's outside, at least for now. So I go in with my darkest and kind of lay down where I want my shadows to be, and you know, I'm hoping for the best. So a lot of times I'll go over that base color with my next color. It's going to lighten it a little bit and it's going to help that blend. If you are new and you struggle with getting a blend, color your whole thing in your lightest color first and then go back and work with your darkest to lightest and see if that works better for you. Let's see. I don't know. I think I want, where do I want my highlight to be? This is one of those issues that I have. Highlight, no highlight. Do I want a highlight? Struggle's real. Okay, so I want to kind of put the highlight towards the face. I mean, that's usually where I go with the highlight anyways, so I'm going to add in my darkest one on the back side here, I think. But so anyways, the chickens are they finally figured out how to get out of their coop by themselves. And I mean, they go in and out during the day, but they have yet to learn that when this mama says it's time to go back in your coop for the day, because I don't like to leave them out when I'm not here, just because the cats keep licking their chops every time I go over there, which worries me. So they keep licking their chops and I worry that they're gonna somehow break in there when I'm not here and eat the babies. But you know, cats just doing cat things, I guess. But ultimately I have to catch them all and put them back in their coop yet. It's getting there. It's getting better. Chicken tender issues, I tell you. Of course, my old girls are just like, we're good. We really don't. Yeah, I'm not letting them out as much as they would like to be out, because last year, if you were here and you heard my chicken rumblings, they were being, it was like Easter every day. I'd have to go and find the eggs. I would say it was wonderful, but it was not, because they hide them in between the big bales that I couldn't reach, and so I'd have to go and find like some long stick with a basket on the end to help me pull them out. Yeah, great fun. So I've been not letting them out until afternoon, and then I put them back away before I go to the farm, because there's just way too many hawks and eagles around this year that I don't need to be missing chickens. Anyways, this set kind of reminded me of that. So I'm just coming in with my third lightest tone. I don't plan on using the lightest tone for this one. At least not in the bulk scheme of things, right? I'll probably use the lightest tone on the tummy, but I'm going to add in my second lightest tone kind of for my shadow on the tummy. And then I'll bring in that lightest tone. And add that one in for that lighter color. This one would be fun to do in yellows. I mean, you could do it any color, right? Because cartoony characters, you can do it in any color. I grabbed a powdery orange YR196. All of these colors are in the Ohuhu 60 marker Oahu line, or the 30, I think it's the 36 color skin tones. If you are looking to add to your collection, I would definitely say look at adding the gray tones to it. That's going to be your next, I think, to me, that would be your next add-in. It's the one that I tend to add in the most when I color and don't have them in my original, those 2 sets that I used for this series. Okay, so the beak, I am doing, the darker yellow is yellow, Y 593, and then I'm going to come in with primary yellow, which is Y 396. And this is going to be my lighter toned. And then I'm just going to fill in that whole area with that one. And let's see. I grabbed a gray for the top of my shaker here. This one is in that 60 set. So for this one, I'm just going to layer it. So I let it dry in between my layer, and then I'm going to just go back in and go over the whole thing again. It'll make that second layer darker and the one that only has 1 layer lighter. So it'll kind of give you the look or the illusion that you have to. The other thing that comes with them is that colorless blender. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. I just do some tip to tip, just tapping it lightly on there, and then I'm going to just kind of add in some of that really light gray that I've done it that way to kind of add in some depth and dimension to both the eyeballs here and then that glass. And it doesn't take a very long tip to tip, as you saw there, to get that really light color. The other thing is, you know, you can definitely color with this first and then come in with that colorless blender and try to blend it out. It's going to take a little bit longer to blend it out. Your other tip is make sure that you clean out your colorless blender before you put it away. So if you do it again next time, you don't have that color on there and you're not going to have issues. So I'm just going to add a dot of red onto its tongue. I'm trying to think if there is a dark. We could do the dark brown in the mouth. It's going to be, I don't want to find a different gray, just to give it the illusion of darkness. And then for the eyes, let's see, let's grab, I guess I didn't grab a, we could do, that one's not in that pack. Let's see, eye color, we could do blue. Let's do, I mean, that's probably one of my favorite blues. B463. It's just that outdoor denim style blue. If you were, you know, that's a close to my heart color. It was my favorite blue back in the day. So I'm going to go with the first layer, and then I'm going to go in with my second layer. Poor little guy, his little whites. So I'm bringing in a Jelly Roll 08, either 08 or the 10 is my preferred. Make sure that it's working well before you try to add in your highlight here. So I'm just going to come in and kind of add that little white dot back in because I kind of covered it up a little bit. But other than that, I think that's all I'm using the white Velcro pen today. Do I want to add grass to this one? Probably not. I think we're going to do a super simple layout today. So I'm going to cut this one out. I'll probably just hand cut it because I really don't feel like doing the Brothers Cannon cut today. So I will hand cut this one out and then I'll be right back. I have my card base cut down to 4 1/4 inches wide, so cutting it the long way, an 11 inch piece of paper, regular piece of paper, cutting it in half and then scoring it at 5 1/2 inches. We'll give you a vertical card base. I like to use the Accent Opaque 100 weight cardstock from Amazon for my card bases. And then, you know, just folding it using a Teflon style bone folder to kind of do that crease will give you your card base. Now for this one, I think I'm going to bring in a strip of green. I'm going to keep this one really super simple. This is not my normal style, but you know, sometimes it's fun to go off grid, to go with something a little bit different. So I'm going to bring in that happy birthday to a well-seasoned friend stamp. And we'll bring in the stamp platform again. And I haven't cut my piece down. I mean, it's smaller. It's just a scrap that was in my stash. So I'm going to kind of, it's, you know, a little bit bigger than what I need it, but this way I can kind of adjust accordingly. And so I'm thinking if I go here with it, I can make it a smaller strip, probably about half the size. And then I can put my actual stamped image, kind of just do that as some grounding on there, making sure that I give myself enough room to cut this off a little bit, but this way I can kind of shift it when I get that far. I hope that makes sense. You know, when I get to the final cut, that way I can move it over one way or the other. So line this one up, make sure that is mostly straight, and grab the VersaFine Onyx Black ink for this one. This one will give that nice black crisp stamped impression, usually one and done, and it looks good. I was gonna say I haven't stamped with this stamp set before. Sometimes it requires a second inking, but it worked well today. So let me put that one back on here. I don't know what I want. Maybe we can do Getting Old is for the birds. Is there one that says for the birds? Yes, it's for the birds. I'll probably do that on the inside. So since I don't have my inside done yet, let's do the inside. I'm going to end up removing the other ones, aren't I? We'll put this little guy in here. See, it's already all seasoned, ready to go. And we'll do Getting Old is for the birds. Obviously, because he's eating the worm. Move that down just a little bit there. I try to center it. I mean, it's not going to be perfectly centered, right? But that's okay. And then if we bring this one in, off center, we should be good there. I'm pretty sure I'm crooked, so kind of finding the placement at least on my card front, and then once I get it on my stamp platform, I can kind of straighten it out a little bit. Let's see if we're still pretty good there. Pretty good. All right, and I'm going to bring in that VersaFine Onyx Black again for my inside sentiment. Ink that one up. Stamp it down, and we should be good to roll. Getting Old is for the birds. Okay, set that one off to the side, and then we'll bring in our base here, as well as trimming this one down. So on the top, I mean, you can trim both ends if you want, but from on the top, I lined it up fairly good. So I always look at my cutting guide on this one. So right here, it gives it a really nice, like maybe an 1/8 inch edge on that. And so that's kind of what I do for both ends, to be honest. I kind of use that as my guide, especially when it comes to sentiments. So it looks like I will have about the same width on both of them. Hoping for a mostly straight cut, because this is me and my, you know, cutting is not always on par. Alright. And then go with this one. So I can either choose to go this way and then cut that off beforehand or not. I'm going to glue it to my card base and then I'll cut it, just because I want to make sure that it's going to go all the way across the edge. And I'm going to actually bring in just some tape runner for this one. You could use glue as well, either or. Sometimes this paper is kind of on the thinner side, so it's not always the greatest to glue on. And then I'll just bring in this little character and kind of put him there. Do I want to do anything? I could do, I mean, we have plenty of time, right? So let's step it up a little bit, right? So because I'm doing this one as super simple and I'm not doing anything too wild and crazy with it, I'm just going to bring in a random stencil. It's not going to be a cloud stencil, it's just kind of a little textured stencil. And we're going to do, I should have done this before I did this part, but I'm just going to mask off a little bit here. This is Avery Elle removable adhesive sheet. You can get, I think it's like they come in 8.5 by 11 sheets. They're my favorite for just kind of adding in when I need to mask something in a massive amount, or not, but it just, I don't know, they work well and they're fairly cheap, at least bang for your buck wise. They're pretty reasonable. Now I don't want to do a lot of ink blending on this, I just want a touch of ink blending on there. Because I use that blue in the eye, I'm going to go with a little bit lighter version of that Outdoor Denim, which, if I'm looking at my Close to My Heart inks, is going to be the Indian Corn Blue. If you're looking at at the Tim Holtz line, the Faded Jean is probably going to be closer to your Indian Corn or your Outdoor Denim, and then Stormy Sky is probably going to be closer to this color, the Indian Corn Blue. And so I just kind of want to hit, I know that my image is going to be there, so I just want to do just a little bit, not a lot. I'm just going to come up and kind of make a little bit of a sky for this one. Not a lot, it just gives it a little bit of a hint. And you could do that on that whole top piece, you know, before you did this, figure out where your line is, put a mask down and do it that way. Now I lost my image because, you know, that's how I roll. It's on the floor. He flew away. He's like, lady, I just want to eat this worm. Can we get this done already? Alrighty. So just by adding that little bit, it kind of gives a little bit more of a scene to our card base. Now for this one, I'm going to cut this first. Having a larger scissors for this kind of a cut works well. These scissors are old. We'll go that route. Like, I've had them since before I was out of high school. Old. Okay? Okay. I want to do a little bit of foam tape. So I'm just going to grab one piece, two piece. Alternatives to foam tape. So if you have the actual die cut that comes with the stamp set, you can cut it out multiple times with that heavyweight cardstock, and you can just layer your die cut shapes or images, because you really don't need the stamp, right? You just need to die cut it a bunch. You just need to die cut that die a bunch of times, and you'll get the shape that you need to do a multiple layer, especially if it's like an intricate one that you're going to have to do a lot of smaller pieces of foam tape if you want to pop it up. That works really well. And you don't have to be as picky as me when it comes to all the things, right? Or I need one little piece for his foot, at least one little piece for his little tail. I try to make it so it's not gonna totally get squashed in the envelope. Does it? I don't know. I mean, it probably does. Once it leaves my hands, it's kind of on its own, right? I'm sorry, I've tried the garbage can on my desk. It just doesn't work for me. Like, I just end up setting stuff on it. I have one sitting right next to me that I can't use because it's got stuff on it and in it. That's not garbage. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to add him right here. I'm kind of keeping in mind that I want his tail to be about the same distance as that happy is from the edge, just so it kind of looks like it's centered. He's off-centered for sure, but he kind of has the illusion of being centered. And you could add some gems to this one if you wanted to. You could do some glossy accents to both the shaker and his eyeballs if you wanted to add, and of course the worm's little eyeballs if you wanted to add, you know, some little accents to it per se. But there is our card for today. Something kind of simple. Coloring took us just as long as putting it together, but it's, you know, it's definitely cute. So there is my happy birthday to my well-seasoned friend. Getting old is for the birds. Bye.